I'm Peter. I live in Groningen in the Netherlands, and I'm promoter for Vera. And besides that, I'm the manager for the Homesick for the last 6 years now. And this is our story how we got signed the Homesick at Sub Pop. You should know the Homesick are a Dutch band making noise pop. They were relatively unknown back then when this story starts. They did their first album at Super Records, managed by Koen ter Heegde. And together with Koen, we set out on a trail to get the Homesick play abroad, because in the Netherlands we could only play like 6-7 venues that would suit their music. So we started to look abroad immediately. One of the things we did was playing MENT Festival and Tele Music Week in 2017. And those showcases were very important. They gave us a lot of good press, mainly in the UK. At MENT Festival there was Kevin Cole from KEXP Radio Seattle, and he was one of the guys that I was really trying to connect with, since he was like the first one that came over from America to see the Homesick. That show at MENT Festival played a really important role in the story, since Kevin took music from the Homesick back home to Seattle and played it a few times at KEXP, but also helped us doing a KEXP session a year afterwards at the Transmusicaal Festival in Rennes. In the meantime, what we didn't know was that there was this A&R guy at Sub Pop finding a song by the Homesick in his Discover Weekly. The music from the Homesick, the Youthhood album, was already available at Spotify. The A&R guy just heard the song, the best part of being young is falling in love with Jesus, and he was like, what's this, you know? I've never heard this, it's so different from the things I've heard before. And he let other people at the Sub Pop office listen to it as well, and they were all super hooked. And then they were trying to see from, okay, where's this band from? Hopefully from the US. And then they found out that the Homesick is a Dutch band. The funny thing is that it didn't stop them from checking out more of the Homesick. So a few months later they contacted us by email that their publisher, Garrett Smith, was coming over to the Netherlands to do some interviews with other people. And he said, well, maybe we can have a chat about it. So we met, spoke a lot about music in general. We really hit off the right notes immediately. And I think it was 3 months later at Le Guess Who Festival, which is like a super cool festival in Utrecht in the Netherlands, we were introduced to Tony Keeble, that was the A&R guy that discovered the Homesick in his Discover Weekly. He said, okay, just send the stuff you got, let us listen to it. Maybe it's something we would like to release. They said, well, we want to do your publishing, and I think one of the golden rules for every band is don't sign away your publishing before you have a record deal, because everyone that wants a record deal with you would also like to have your publishing, since syncs is a good way to make money from the music you're distributing. I held off the publishing for quite a long time, I think 3-4 months. Then they came back to me. It was quite romantic, since it was Christmas Eve and I was doing shoppings, and I got a call and they said, well, we want to send you a proposal for a record deal, and look at it, tell me what you think, and we're happy to release your music. We got the proposal, and I think it took 3-4 months before we finally got what we wanted. And the thing is that it's super difficult to read every small bit that's in a record deal, and we needed help from someone who was specialized in those contracts. And there were only 2 people in the Netherlands available that understand like cross-Atlantic law system. When you're working with a bigger label, they need like a time frame from 6 to 7 months to plan the release. So it took another 6 months before the album finally was released, which happened in February 2020. So from signing the contracts until the release was almost like 1.5 years. The most important thing we learned about this whole like project, this whole thing, was that you have to stay patient. You know, it's like there are so many people that are like, wow, it's a big label, do it, really pushing, don't miss out on the opportunity. But you have to stay patient and read everything through very carefully. They were really focused on having a personal relationship. So we took a lot of time Skyping, talking, meeting up when we can. We also flew to South by Southwest in 2018, and that's also the time where we met up with, I think, 6-7 people that are working with Sub Up, and building that relationship, gaining trust on both sides. I think that's a really important ground to start from before you even sign the contracts. It's almost like a fairy tale in a way, because it was a dream come true.